I ended up getting into it with this guy at the bus stop from school. I ended up bringing a hammer to the bus stop, and I hit him with a hammer across the head. Being older now, I'm definitely able to really just see like what it all meant, you know what I'm saying? And the separation that I put from myself from other kids and how it paid off for me. I can really give a lot to Adrian Bronner, you know what I'm saying? That was really like my big brother. Shit, I'm used to just moving all around. I done been to so many different places. It was at a point in the fight where I was just like, all right, I'm just ready for this to be over with. You know what I'm saying?
Lights, camera, action, this a movie, come record it. I feel like I'm Dane, cause they know that I'm important. Got a vibe just like a Honda, when she run, she act accordingly. And I feel so important when I'm rocking this exploited. They beefing on the well, see they feeling like they split. She say that I'm a dog, but it's $1 million mud. And I got the game back, that's $1 million trust. We chasing meals, shout out Slim, this $1 million cut.
All right, y'all, we are back with another episode of $1 Million Cuts, man. And I think we have found our niche with these boxers, man. It's starting to look real good. I want to introduce to y'all Tra-Kwon Superman Pettis.
Yes,
Tell them
sir.
about yourself, man.
This boy, Tra-Kwon Superman Pettis, you know what I'm saying, 4-1, from Augusta, boxing out of Atlanta, you know what I'm saying. Really back with a vengeance, man, you know what I'm saying, trying to show everybody my journey. Ready, let's get it.
Man, y'all heard it first, man. We here. We finna get into it for real. He done said already a key moment of things for y'all, like a vengeance. I'm finna get into that. We finna get into where he from. Let's get into it, bro. It's up. Let's do it.
Let's get it.
All right, man. So boom, we are back into it, man, and you got that man Superman here for real. So first things first, dog. I know you mentioned in the intro that you're from Augusta. Like, what's that like for you right now, just being from Augusta and coming out to Atlanta?
I mean, it's pretty cool, you know what I'm saying, yeah, it's me for real. I'm really in my life, I moved from Augusta, I was probably like 9, 10 years old, you know what I'm saying? But shit, I'm used to just moving all around. I done been to so many different places, you know what I'm saying? I'm used to changing scenery. I'm getting ready to move now, for real, so.
What you think about heading to?
I think about going to Houston.
Houston?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Why Houston?
Well, just a new start, you know what I'm saying? I got a couple guys out there. You know, I was signed to Mayweather Promotions at some point, and I got Rock Nation out there. They used to be a sponsor for me before I was actually signed to Mayweather Promotions. So basically, I'm gonna just go out there and still kind of have that support, you know what I'm saying, in some type of way.
Yeah. How you end up meeting these type of people like Floyd Mayweather Promotion, Rock Nation and stuff? Like, how you stumble into that?
Really just putting in work, for real. Always traveling, you know, but really, I can't even lie, I can really give a lot to Adrian Bronner, you know what I'm saying? That was really like my big brother growing up. You know, I was in all his little camps. I was 14, 15, 16, you know, whether I was fighting or not, he used to always fly me out and just, you know what I'm saying, put me in training camp with him. And that's how I really got signed to Floyd, though, you know what I'm saying? I had been before, but I went back for his camp when he was with, he was fighting against Sean Porter, I believe that was. He did that at Floyd Gym. So one day I was in the gym out there, ended up getting in the doghouse and putting in work, for real. Putting in work. Floyd told me to come back for his camp.
But so when you say doghouse, I know a lot of people always like, if I tell somebody like that don't box, like, man, you got some gyms that do doghouse rules. Like, could you explain that in your terms, what that is, like when you was putting in the work and stuff?
So to me, you know what I'm saying, anytime from my experience, the doghouse, see, some people like to say it's 5-minute rounds, but to be honest, it's whatever Floyd feel like, you know what I'm saying, like, or whatever, whoever in there feel like, because when I was in the doghouse, I fought for 15, 20 minutes straight before I got a break. And really that break that I got, like, it wasn't no break, it was just to switch out somebody, you know what I'm saying? I went in there, first I started out sparring Jamel Heron, and then right after Jamel Heron, I got in there with Emmanuel Taylor, I believe it was.
Damn.
Emmanuel Taylor, fact, so.
You out here naming some real big names. Like I'm gonna tell y'all, like, I'm in the gym with him every now and then, but I don't really have like a all the way rapport with Trey, y'all. So check me out on this. So like, You're sparring these people that have like Jamel Herring. He has a really good career already. He has a really good resume. How does that affect you, like when you're going in with those type of people and stuff like that?
See, really, I put myself on that pedestal already. You know what I'm saying? That I'm just as good as all of them, if not better. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So it's like it really don't faze me, because although some of them guys have names in the pros, like I've been doing my thing in the amateurs. You know what I'm saying? And I've been sparring these type of guys, and like I say, I'm in camp with Adrian Bronner, so I'm already getting the best of the work. You know what I'm saying? So really, it was nothing to me, to be honest.
What do you feel like your hardest spar was with somebody at this point? Like, if you got a big name that you can mention, what would you feel like your hardest spar was with them?
Sparring? I really can't think off the top of my head. I know some of my toughest fights, but sparring-wise, I really can't just, come off the top of my head and be like, man, that was really, I have good work though. Like even now in the gym, you know what I'm saying? I know, Brian Norman, like he's good work for me.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like I have good sparring, not to label any of them as the hardest though. Like geez, I can't, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, I can definitely vouch for it, man. I've sat here and watched Trey spar before y'all, and it's like, just even with the doghouse rules, that's why I touched on it. I've seen it to where he's sparring somebody, and they're about to go into the round is closing out. It's about to be over with. They're about to go on break, and Trey is literally tapping the other dude on the head, like, "Come on, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going." So, what is your like ambition with that? Like, what makes you want to keep doing that? You pushing the other guy, or do you just simply more work?
Both of them, for real. I want more work, and I'm pushing them. You know what I'm saying? And it's all a mental thing to me. Because once I start breaking, getting cooled down and stuff, like, it's like I'm getting out of my mode, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, nah, like I'm turned up, you know what I'm saying? Let's go, let's work. Like that's how I break through my second win. Everything go out the window then.
Facts. So I've noticed while I'm in here as well, just to touch on this, that is, correct me if I'm wrong, but your father is normally in your corner most of the time.
Exactly.
What type of relationship do you guys have with that? Like, how was that for you as a boxer and having your father in the corner with you?
So to me, growing up now we got a perfect relationship, if you ask me. Growing up though, I would say it was like a love-hate thing, you know what I'm saying? Because he's been my trainer my whole life since really day one just about,
Right.
So it's like growing up around that time, like 14 years old and stuff, like, man, I used to go to school, come home, boxing, you know what I'm saying? Go to the gym, come home, still boxing. Like, I used to want to break, you know what I'm saying? Like, I used to be like, God damn, like, when do I get a chance to do some fun stuff with some kid stuff, you know what I'm saying? But being older now, I'm definitely able to really just see like what it all meant, you know what I'm saying? And the separation that I put from myself from other kids and how it paid off for me, you know what I'm saying?
So do you feel like not to say it in a negative way, but do you feel like your childhood was kind of just put to the side and you just was kind of like, I'm working all the time?
That's definitely how I felt as a kid, you know what I'm saying? Even looking back at it now, like, I wouldn't say that it was completely set aside, you know what I'm saying? Because I had balance to some sort, but definitely boxing was more of it. But to me, that's just what it takes to be a champion, you know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, like, we're gonna have fun when we grown, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna have fun later. Like, all this right now, this is just trial and error time, you know what I'm saying?
Thanks. I see a lot of stories like that. I mean, everybody knows the Michael Jackson story, of course, most notoriously for his father always making him work 24/7. But then you get to see how the dedication and the hard work pays off later on. And it's just like, damn, you're creating a superstar doing these type of things.
Exactly.
So I know earlier you mentioned that you're more into your pro fights, knowing like what your hardest fights were and stuff like that. Would you like to touch bases on that and tell us like what were some hard fights for you and what made them so hard?
So when I'm speaking on like my hardest fights, I'm speaking on really they was from the amateurs, you know. I remember I probably was like 15 years old. I fought this guy, Game Man, like the man Game Man, something like that, and we fought in a ringside world championship. I had made it through the whole tournament, you know. This is the finals on the 5th night.
Right.
Fought 5 nights straight. And I had seen the guy fight the day before, and it like, I really wasn't worried about him. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh man, we got this guy in the bag. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I was too lax or what, but the next day I fought him, and then I came out. You know, I'm doing me, I'm throwing the jab, and then I tried to sit there with him, and like he was just so strong, man. Like it was crazy. Like he just straight up overpowered me. I was just like, damn. So I tried to make some adjustments. You know what I'm saying? And I remember going to the corner too, to my dad, like, man, Dad, like this guy's strong. You know what I'm saying? And like my amateur record was 123-12.
That's extensive.
Yeah. So and even throughout them 12 losses, like I really don't believe that I lost them all. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I feel like I had some bad decisions, but this one right here with this guy Game Man, like, I can honestly give it to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was at a point in the fight where I was just like, all right, I'm just ready for this to be over with. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, though, like I said, you still learn from every fight. Like, that was when me and my dad, like, we really started focusing on strength. Like, we like, cause like I said, I was about 15 at the time. So like, okay, we getting older, you know what I'm saying? Guys getting stronger, like we need to work on these strength and condition exercises and things like that. So that would be one of them. And the second one, I fought in the Quebec Cup in Canada. And this guy, Jacques Durrani, he was strong, you know what I'm saying? He was a weight class above me. Like I went out there for the Quebec Cup and my opponent didn't show up, his opponent didn't show up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He was a weight class over me. So, but I still end up like taking the fight. They were just like, hey man, we got this guy, both of y'all opponents didn't show up, y'all can still work. You know, I ain't really dodging my work, you know, so I'm like, all right, bet. But I just remember getting in there with him, and he just had a real strong one too. I remember, like I say, like he was really strong, like it left an impact on me too. You know, but there was no win or lose for that fight. It was like a exhibition type of thing since we was in two different weight classes.
Yeah, I was just about to check in on that actually, because I was just thinking, I'm like, this isn't an amateur fight then if he was a weight class above you.
Right.
It was just more like y'all just went in there and got some good work then.
Right, but it was still on the show.
Yeah, okay. So what's this show that you're talking about right here? What show? What are you talking about? Just them having it live or?
No, it was in Canada. It was the Quebec Cup, so it was actually a club show. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
So it was actually some real fights, but like I say, our opponents didn't show up. So
right.
It was like.
So they turned it into an exposition. Okay.
Type of deal. You know what I'm saying? Especially since I had came all the way from the U.S. You know, because it was in Canada.
Right.
Yeah.
So man, you sound like you really just had it like. Not saying it was easy at all, but it just sounds like you really had a nice platform and support system with this so far, where it's like you're doing a lot of traveling,
right.
You're getting to see a lot of things that a lot of other people don't get to see, and it just sounds like you're all around in the mix and stuff like that. Would you say that that's kind of helping you build to where you're at now, to where it's like, man, I'm overly, ready for a lot of things right now?
Definitely, I think that my experience helps me out a lot. You know what I'm saying? My experience definitely takes me a long way. So yeah, I definitely agree with that. You know what I'm saying? Like I done seen it all before. You know, especially being in the position that I am in now. You know what I'm saying? Having taken a break. You know what I'm saying? It's allowing me to be a lot more mature because I'm not really rushing for nothing because I done seen it all. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not everything, but I done seen a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But,
just growing up and everything like that, I know you said you came from Augusta to Atlanta at a young age and everything like that. What was Augusta like for you? Was it kind of like a harsh environment, or do you feel like it was just neutral, or does it have anything to do with like what made you start boxing, or did you just kind of join into boxing just because you wanted to?
So I would say hard. It definitely wasn't like my life in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Once my mom kind of moved from Augusta, like I definitely had it a lot better. Where I was from in Augusta, like I guess you would call it the trenches. You know what I'm saying? It was definitely like that, and that's really kind of what made me into the person that I was being young. Because I got into a lot of trouble, and like you say, what kind of got me into boxing is. When I came from Augusta, I was living in, I was on the outskirts of Atlanta originally. I was staying in Henry County. And I never even thought about boxing, to be honest, but I ended up getting into it with this guy at the bus stop from school. And I ended up bringing a hammer to the bus stop, and I hit him with a hammer across the head, you know what I'm saying? And that right there actually got me kicked out of the whole county. So they banned me from Henry County, and it was like, I gotta go. So the only other place was with my dad because my whole family was from Augusta, you know what I'm saying? But my dad, he actually stayed in the city, you know what I'm saying? So my dad ended up picking me up later on that day after basically I had, that day was really very eventful, you know what I'm saying? But like, once I finally was released and I was able to get to my dad, you know what I'm saying? His first thing he did was took me to the gym. He took me to the gym. He like, man, you wanna keep getting in trouble? Like, you wanna be fighting and doing this and that and the third? Like, he like, man, all right, let's go, boom. So he ended up taking me to the gym. Like I said, I ended up getting there with this guy, Tonio. And man, Tonio beat me up for like 3 years straight. I ain't gonna lie. You know, that was like my punishment for real. Like, but I ended up falling in love with the sport like instantly. You know what I'm saying? Because when I went to the gym that day, like I had that mindset like, man, you ain't finna keep beating me up. You know what I'm saying? I was 11 at the time. I'm like, shit, you ain't finna keep beating me up. I'm coming back tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming back. You feel me? So that's how my whole boxing career even started. Like, for me just making that mistake. You know what I'm saying? The bad decision. You know what I'm saying? And
Right. So basically, you said you ended up going to the county jail because of that?
no, I didn't go to the county jail because of that. I got banned from the county.
You got banned from the county, and where did he have to pick you up from after the situation happened?
He picked me up from like the courthouse though.
Oh, okay.
They still kind of, I guess you could say, detained me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it was so weird looking back at it to this day, cause like I had court that same day and everything. Like everything happened. Like I don't even know how that's possible. You know what I'm saying? Like I hit the guy with the hammer. Like I tried to run for a minute. I ended up going home. I had to like, the police was already at my mom Duke's crib, so
Damn.
I end up going to the police station. They interrogating me type deal. Then next thing you know, they're like, yep, the judge ready to have a hearing. So I'm like, all right. Like I didn't really know no better at this time anyway, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I went to court, and that's when they gave me the conditions. Like, look, if you ain't trying to be incarcerated right now, like somebody need to come get you. Like they kicked me out of Henry County. And then, so that was that, for real.
That's definitely what I was trying to touch on, because I'm like, ain't no way in hell he hit a kid with a hammer, and they just was on some like letting it slide. So they kicked you out of the county instead.
Yeah, it was definitely still a case though. You know what I'm saying? Like I still fought the case for a while. You know what I'm saying? I ended up being like on probation for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Of course, since it happened at the bus stop, I had to have like a separate school hearing for it, you know what I'm saying? So I had regular court and I had court for school, you know, so.
Damn. Yeah. So just fast forwarding when you were leaving, this happened in Henry County, so that was out here.
Right.
Okay, cool. So in Atlanta, after that situation, do you feel like you just kind of chilled out a little bit more, or do you feel like you were still going back and forth with things, or what?
Like getting in trouble?
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, I definitely stayed getting in trouble.
Man.
It was, yeah, definitely stayed getting in trouble. That ain't really help. You know, I was young. I wasn't really, you know what I'm saying, weighing out the consequences for real. Like I was just going. I ain't gonna lie.
Fact. So man, so this really leads me into like the situation of like, you know, I heard it amongst the feathers of the birds and stuff like that. People are telling me, you know, Trey got out of prison not too long ago. And I'm like, I think you told me actually, I think my first day meeting you, I was doing workouts with Coach Billy, and you walked up and told me, man, you want to learn how to get in shape for real, you got to do these burpees, but you got to do a squat at the end too. Yeah. And I was like, damn, bro, like I done threw up some food, y'all. Like I literally chunked up some Chick-fil-A while I was doing this. So like, could you tell us the situation behind that? Like what was the situation on that? Like you ended up going down the road and stuff like that. What was that about?
So basically, like I say, throughout my life, you know what I'm saying, I done definitely ran into a couple of different situations. So I was actually already on probation for like, I had a fraud charge and I had like another misdemeanor charge out of Atlanta. But I was in Miami and I ended up catching a case in Miami. Same thing, fraud, you know what I'm saying? Just moving around too fast. And it's crazy though, because I actually end up taking, like don't get me wrong, I take accountability for, you know, certain things, but like I end up really taking a case for somebody else, you know what I'm saying? Just due to the, you know, me not talking about nothing, you know what I'm saying? So I had a case out of Miami that really ended up going federal, and I ran from that for as long as I could. I ain't gonna lie though, because once I found out, I got pulled over one day. They like, yeah, you know, you got a warrant for the Secret Service, this, that, and the third. I'm like, a warrant for the Secret Service? Like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't know what the hell was going on. I took off on him on the highway, you know what I'm saying? And then yeah, that was that. So I ran from that for as long as I could, and then I ended up just getting caught and getting caught again, like just get my name ran, things like that.
Yeah. So I really have an inside question for a lot of boxers. I'm sorry, for a lot of boxers. So when first going down and stuff like that, going into prison and stuff like that, do you feel like anybody ever tried you?
Shit.
Or was it kind of chill because it's more of a federal prison?
So I went to state prison and federal prison all in the same run. I started off in the state prison because, like I say, I was on state probation. And
Okay.
that violated my my probation, so I ended up having to go to state prison for like a year. Then after that, I got transferred to the feds and I did my fed time.
Okay.
But I would say in the state prison, it was definitely a little more wilder, or a lot more, you know what I'm saying? Because in the feds, you know, they do a lot of politics, you know what I'm saying? But as far as somebody trying me, it just depends on what you say trying me, because I done had people do stuff like owe me some bread, you know what I'm saying? And still, and just being in that culture, you know what I'm saying, my mindset was different. So I done definitely got into a few altercations, you know what I'm saying, about something. But technically, somebody just trying me like, oh, they think shit sweet. I don't really think I ran into that before.
Yeah. So I was hoping that you would say like, man, somebody tried you and they found out like that you did boxing.
Right.
And it was more of a situation where it's like, oh damn, we ain't fucking with him no more. You never felt like you encountered anything like that, right?
Nah, most people, they knew I was a boxer because I stayed training, you know what I'm saying? I stayed working out, you know, being on the yard, shadow boxing, stuff like that. So you see me shadow boxing on the yard, like I say, I got an extensive boxing record. So it's like I'm not new to it, so you can really kind of see like, okay, dang, this guy, he fight for real.
Type
you
shit.
know what I'm saying? So
Damn.
I ain't really run into nothing like that.
So did you have any pro fights before that, or were you doing all your pro fights after you got released?
So I did all my pro fights before that. Actually, so this Saturday when I fight, this will be my first fight back. You know what I'm saying? Since
What time frame was you locked up from? Like from what year to what year?
2019 to this year, May.
Okay, cool. All right, so you did all of your pro fights beforehand.
Right.
And what was your record then?
4-1.
Okay, so you was 4-1, and this will be the 5th fight coming out. So this will be the very first fight, like you just
My
said.
6th. It's been 5 fights.
Oh yeah, right.
But yeah, this will be my 6th fight right here.
Okay, cool. Who was the loss that you had in between those 4 and 1?
I really don't remember the guy's name, to be honest. He really wasn't nobody to me, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? I just had a lot going on before the fight. You know what I'm saying?
So that was the last fight before going in.
Nah, hell no. That was my last fight going in. I think I fought on the Adrian Bronner undercard that was on Showtime. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And that was that.
Okay, cool. So you said you had a lot going on for that specific fight. Is there, would you think it was like a mental thing where you're kind of just like, man, I got so much shit going on and it's kind of just disturbing me? Because I know a lot of boxers tell me that, like, man, my one loss, I just had some personal shit going on and I just was not locked in how I wanted to be.
Yeah, type deal. Like I was dealing with like a family death, you know what I'm saying? Like it happened right in the middle of my camp, you know what I'm saying? So I had to leave. I was doing camp in Vegas, so I ended up flying back to Georgia, you know what I'm saying? It was just a lot going on, to be honest.
Facts. So you got 4 wins on the record though still. How do you feel about going 4 wins in though? Like, how does that boost you in your time and space? Like, you was feeling like, damn, I got 4 wins. I'm really finna take this all the way 100 now.
Right. So I would say, really just me knowing who I am is really what boosts me. It ain't even about the record. You know what I'm saying? This could be my first fight. You know what I'm saying? And I already know that, like, you know, I got something to prove. Like I look at some of these guys, like really I don't even watch a lot of fights on TV, you know what I'm saying? But when I do look at these guys, I'm like, man, stop it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All I gotta do is just lock in and it's over with for a little bit of everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. How did you watch the Tyson and Jake Paul fight, or you left that one alone?
I watched it, man. I hate I watched it. That shit was garbage, man. I already knew it was something going on with it. People kept asking me like, man, who you got? Dude, I'm like, for one, Tyson's 60 years old. You know what I'm saying? Then like, Man, I just already knew. I was expecting some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I was expecting it to be how it was, but like I definitely already knew it was gonna be some bullshit. I knew nobody wasn't gonna get knocked out or nothing like that though.
Do you think if Jake Paul would have lost that fight, that would have took a huge stake into his career?
Nah.
Think he would have still been able to say, man, I'm fighting in 2 months from now again. So hey.
Facts. Yeah,
So
them guys, they YouTube guys, so it's just like really whatever they doing, I feel like no matter what, like they helping a lot of people out or whatever they doing. I don't care if it was Netflix or whoever did the promotion for that card. It was Tyson, like Jake Paul, like he gave Mike Tyson about 60 years old, you know what I'm saying? So like he gave him a chance to make $20 million real quick, you know what I'm saying? Like we can't even hate on that, you know what I'm saying? Like them guys creating opportunities for them people.
that's too much noise. Yeah, just making sure. So in a sense, would you say like, I don't want to say it myself, but would you say almost on a like, you know, they had a contract and clause of the contract, like, okay, we got certain things that's not gonna happen in this fight.
I believe so.
Like it was some politics in there.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like they definitely had side talks. Like, hey, look, man, shit, like we gonna get this money for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, keep doing what you doing, keep hyping it up, woo, but like, we gonna get this money. So definitely that.
Have you ever thought about doing the YouTube route? Like, man, I'll do some YouTube boxing, take the quick cash on some shit. Have you ever thought about something like that?
Not no YouTube boxing, but like, I thought you was saying something like maybe like a podcast or something. Like I always thought about doing something like that, but as far as me fighting a YouTube fighter, like I really don't see myself doing that.
So like a podcast, you mean like how Sean Porter is doing like these days now, like how he's just doing his podcast and stuff?
Right, but it wouldn't even be particularly towards boxing. It'll be just about anything, you know what I'm saying, life stuff.
Do you have a second like type of like, so when you say podcast, is that like your second availability zone for you? Like that's what I would like to do as well, or is it just your main dream is boxing?
My main dream is boxing. Like something that I would like to do as well though is like, I don't know, something like therapeutic type of deal, you know what I'm saying? Like dealing with people with like behavioral problems or something like that. Even if I just own my own office, you know what I'm saying? I tell people this all the time. They laugh, but like I would want to be like a zoologist. Like after boxing, after doing whatever, like at like 50 and 60 years old, like me doing something with animals. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know why, but I definitely, cause I'm a vegetarian. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely for the animals. So like.
Oh, you don't eat meat?
No, I don't eat meat, fish, none of that. So I feel like I got a different love for animals, you know what I'm saying? So I'll definitely be doing something along that route where it's like saving nature and animals and shit like that.
Let's get into that real quick. So like, what was the process of switching over? Were you always vegetarian, or were you kind of just, it took a while to get into it, or?
So really, I used to stop eating meat before like my fight, you know what I'm saying? And I used to like how I felt, but my dad, see, he was like a fake vegetarian. I ain't gonna lie, like he be vegetarian sometimes, and then sometimes he not, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, by him doing that and me living with him, like it was I already knew the foods that I like based off stuff he used to have in the fridge, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So really, when it was time to make my switch, like I just did it one day too, you know what I'm saying? I just woke up like
Cold turkey,
everything. Actually, the first day I ate tuna sub. I said, man, you know what? I'm done with the meat. I'm finna do tuna. I did that for one day. Next day, I cut everything cold turkey.
what was the improvements you felt? Did you feel like your energy levels were up more?
Yeah, I feel like I think better. You know what I'm saying? I just process a lot of things differently. I breathe better, like I intake the air. I know that may sound weird, but like when I breathe like that, like I just don't feel, it's not the same as when I was eating a whole lot of bullshit, you know what I'm saying?
Right. So, I remember when a lot of people were saying that Canelo had took a diet like that right before his fight, where he kind of just stopped eating meat and everything like that. And a lot of people were like, they were criticizing, saying like, man, if he would have never took that diet of what he was doing of just not eating meat and stuff right before that fight, he probably could have won because he just looked like he was almost powerless, quote unquote. And I was just like, man, I don't think it was that. I just think it was like, man, sometimes your day is your day and sometimes it's not. What do you feel about that with him taking that diet right beforehand and not being used to it as much?
You saying as far as what? This is a fight with him and Mayweather?
Nah, it wasn't Mayweather. What was that fight? I think it was Bivol. It was Bible.
Okay.
And they said he took the diet right beforehand.
No, I don't believe that. That's why, to be honest. I mean, because at the end of the day, him as a professional fighter, like even throughout his camp, then like he should have known if he was feeling weak or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't believe that's that. I think that's just people just coming up with a reason. Like
They saw they fighter lose. They mad.
Yeah, they always gonna come up with something to make it sound a little better. You know what I'm saying?
So I got a good feeling about. So I know you got your fight coming up on the 23rd and everything like that. How you feeling so far right now about it?
Yeah, I feel focused. I feel strong. You know what I'm saying? I feel locked in. I'm anxious, of course. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to get back to it. It's been like 6, 7 years since I actually had a professional fight. You know what I'm saying? So like, really right now, man, I'm just ready to go ahead and knock this out. I feel like this that blocking the road, you know what I'm saying? Like once I get to this, I'm gonna be rolling a different type of way. But not that, you know what I'm saying? Not that it's stopping me or preventing me, but just like, okay, all right, I finally got my foot in the door. Now it's time to really turn it up, you know what I'm saying?
What was how you think your pops was feeling like when you told him that you were taking the fight on the 23rd and everything like that? Like how was he feeling about it?
We really wanting the same, you know what I'm saying? He ready to, like I said, get the show back rolling too, you know what I'm saying? Of course, him being my father, he didn't really, I'm sure of it, because we had conversations, so I'm not gonna say I'm sure of it, like I know that, you know, he was upset with some of the decisions that I made in life, you know what I'm saying, that got me to prison, because at the end of the day, had I not even made them mistakes or them bad choices in my past, then shit, like we'll be a world champion right now. You know what I'm saying? So really, it's like we ain't crying over spoiled milk. You know what I'm saying? And we just ready to get back where we left off and get to where we supposed to be at.
So you really feel like your mind frame on the situation is like, I ain't really living with regrets. It happened. There ain't nothing I can do about it. It's already done.
Exactly.
I feel like a lot of those things can push you to go further though. It's just like, man, I got all this behind me. It's time to go forward at this point.
Right.
And it's just like, when you taking these fights and stuff like that, it's like, do you feel like a lot of times like you want to catch up, or do you feel like, man, I'm moving at my own pace still?
What you mean as far as like, do I want to catch up?
So I know you said it's been 6 years since you fought your last fight now, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you have time to make up for it, or do you feel like, man, this thing it's strolling how I wanted to stroll? It's not really it's not no race right now. I'm moving at my own pace with it.
So I would say like I'm kind of moving at my own pace, because I've been getting the opportunities already to move faster, you know what I'm saying? But I already know that like everything gonna unfold how it's supposed to unfold, you know what I'm saying? I got a good support team, you know what I'm saying? I trust their opinions, the positions that they put me on, the people that they put me in front of, you know what I'm saying? The people that sit down and have the conversations with, you know what I'm saying? So like, I really trust the people around me. I'm trusting the process, you know what I'm saying? Because before I wasn't trusting the process. That's how I ended up getting locked up, you know what I'm saying? Just trying to move faster than what I was supposed to be doing, you know what I'm saying?
So I don't want to make this sound crazy, but just even with all the actions of fraud and whatever you had else going on,
Right.
do you feel like now that you kind of like back on terms of out of the situations and all that, do you feel like you kind of more focused on boxing and that's it? Or do you still be feeling like, damn, I'm dabbling a little bit here and there and I'm trying to stay focused? Or you feel like you all the way locked in with it?
I'm all the way locked in with this, because like I would say too, just me, like I said, I've made a couple mistakes, and this ain't my first run in with the law, you know what I'm saying? But I've never really had to do no time, you know what I'm saying? So I never really knew what time came with, you know what I'm saying? Stuff that I didn't even think about, like. So I would say this time, me being gone for just about like 5 years, it's like I really seen like stuff that I didn't think about, like missing my sister's graduation, you know what I'm saying? Or like the stress that it put on my family members. I got family members who passed, you know what I'm saying? Just really losing a lot. Like, I didn't take all them things in perspective. That wasn't nothing that I was thinking. Really, when I was on the streets, I was just like, man, you know what I'm saying? All right, do this, bond out, you know what I'm saying? And be right back to it like it's really nothing, you know what I'm saying? Like, I never put the feds into perspective or none of that, you know what I'm saying? So really now me seeing how they play it, you know, how time and jump, I went in, I was 23.
Did you read a lot while you were in there?
I definitely read a lot.
You speak really well. Like I was leading up to this real quick. I know you got a lot of boxers when you hear them in their press conferences or their weigh-ins, they might speak on and it might be kind of like stumbling words or they can't get their thoughts out as much. Do you think that is because of the boxing or do you just think it's because they kind of sacrifice their education a lot of times to do boxing? What would you say that is a lot of times, like just hearing that?
Yeah, I would say a little bit of both, you know what I'm saying? I really want to say like because of the boxing. You saying like because like maybe they done got hit too many times?
Yeah, like CTE almost.
I don't really see. I think that's from like a lot of the old school boxers. You know what I'm saying? They done got hit a lot, so they have like speech problems and things like that. But some people, like you said, yeah, they might have sacrificed education or that's just their background. You know what I'm saying? That's just how they is. You know what I'm saying? Because really, see, boxing is like to me, like it's a way for people who've been through the struggle. Those are the people who really hungry. You know what I'm saying? Those really be some of the best boxers and ones who really kind of been through a lot. You know what I'm saying? That got that type of background. So like maybe it was their parents who, you know what I'm saying, who was lacking, making sure that they was properly educated and things like that. You know what I'm saying? So
who are your top favorites? Like, give me your top three probably.
My top three were
all time. You can do both. You can do all time and right now.
See, it would really just be all time.
Okay, cool.
Because I really don't have a lot of favorites, but I would definitely have to go with Sugar Ray Robinson. That's somebody that I grew up watching. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm Superman Pettis. Before Superman Pettis, I was Sugar Ray Trey.
They got a nice little ring to it, though.
Yeah, I was Sugar Ray Trey. It's too many Sugar Rays out there, though. So yeah, I definitely got to do Sugar Ray Robinson. Andre Ward, you know what I'm saying? I love his style of boxing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Very technical fighter.
Yeah, facts. And same thing like with Terrence Crawford, did the same too.
Oh yeah, very technical as well.
Yeah.
How did you feel about that last fight that he had with, how do you pronounce his name? Israel Madrigal?
I don't know how to pronounce it. But what you mean as far as what, like?
Man, I give out some of the critique. I don't necessarily feel this way at all, but I'm not gonna give my opinion on it. You'll know probably how I'm going with it. Right. But a lot of people were saying that, oh, you almost lost to a nobody, and saying that he didn't look as good as he normally would look, you know. What was your intake on watching that fight from round 1 to 12? Like everything you saw, what would you think about it? Did you watch that fight?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Tell me what you think about it.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, styles make fights. You know what I'm saying? So, whether maybe something was different in his camp where people feel like his performance wasn't as good or not. But me, I don't really put that expectation though on anybody. Like, oh, they gotta look this good every time. To me, shit, as long as you got the job done, you know what I'm saying? You got that check, then shit, like you good. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he got the job done regardless of the fact. Ain't no almost lost. Like, oh well. That's just like somebody telling you I almost won, like, but you lost.
Yeah.
So, like, you get better, you know what I'm saying? That's for real. So, like, did you get the job done? That's what matters in this sport, getting the job done for real.
So, as a fighter, did you already know when you came into the game that it was like, when you first came in, did you think like, man, I'm gonna be a dude that knocks everybody out, I'm gonna be a knockout artist, or did you automatically just kind of have a sense of like, man, I'm gonna play chess every fight, like if it's a knockout there, I'll take it, but you know, I'm gonna play chess every fight, every time.
You saying as like a professional? As
a professional, for sure.
Yeah, so I would say, like, it's like a chess game with me, you know what I'm saying? But definitely, the goal is to get him out of there. I ain't getting paid for going extra, you know what I'm saying? But like, it's definitely a chess game, you know what I'm saying? I'm always fight my fight, you know what I'm saying?
Thanks. So, just naming your top 3 and stuff like that, do you feel like you study them at the most and you try to and put those type of skill sets on yourself sometimes?
Yeah, I do sometimes, but really, I let my father do the studying. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And I trust what he tells me to do in the ring or in the gym. You know what I'm saying? When we are working, because I can tend to have a bad habit of looking at some of my favorite fighters and picking up bad habits. You know what I'm saying? Stuff I see them doing, and now I'm over idolizing them too much. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm doing the same bad thing they might do, like a bad two-step, because I think it look good or fancy. You know what I'm saying? So like, I try to kind of stay away from that.
Let me ask you this then. So when it's something, I got 2 questions to piggyback on that. If you have a fighter that do certain things that, you know, wouldn't be typical of what a coach would want you to do, would you consider that as a style? Is that a style that would make the fight?
You saying, say that again, like if they don't do what they coach tell them to do?
It's kind of like, so you got Roy Jones, right? And he was more of a I let my hands down, kind of taunt you a little bit.
Right.
Is that a style to you?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I mean, it depends on the person, like why is he doing that? You know what I'm saying? His hands down for a reason. Like I said, he may be trying to, because he got something else going on, so it's to bait you. It might be to bait or whatever, so like, it's definitely a style.
Okay, cool.
It's definitely a way of going about a fight.
Would you agree with doing it though still? Like if you saw it and you just like, man, I could do that right behind them too, or would you more or less be like, nah, I'd stay away from that, that's not.
Yeah, I definitely not, yeah, it's definitely some things people do that I'll be like, okay, I'll stay away from that. I understand that, you know what I'm saying? And it's crazy that you kind of say that, because I feel like that's how I ended up getting put on with Floyd, right? Like being in the doghouse, having a lot of sparring, because I was invited to the camp, but around that time I was on the WSB team, the World Series Boxing, right?
Right.
And that was something still amateur, but it was like a pro type of thing too, because we went to a lot of different countries, and you know, we fought with no headgear, no shirt, none of that. It was 5 rounds. So when I actually went back to Floyd's gym, I forgot what country I was getting ready to go to, but I ended up fighting on his card. You know, that ended up being my pro debut when he retired against Andre Berto.
What's your relationship with Floyd right now? Are you guys still in, you know, cahoots with everything?
No,
or
I really don't do too much communication with Floyd. But like I was saying about the style, like I say, like a lot of people in the gym, they try to fight like him with that hand down. You know what I'm saying? Things like that.
Yeah.
I just felt like me just being able to kind of be on top of that. Like that's what separated me, because I didn't. Like I understand, like that's what works for him. Don't get me wrong, he's winning. He's doing good, but that's not for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
So you would disagree with the Philly shell for new fighters like Bert? Leave that alone, please.
It's not that I disagree with it completely, because it's definitely a technique. But once you try it out, you know what I'm saying, and you're able to see that, hey, I'm still getting hit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you gotta understand, like, I can't be Floyd, but I can still be my own great person. You know
Facts, big facts. So, what about you and AB? That's still like a right hand man for you, basically, right?
Right.
Okay. How do you do y'all ever talk basically like afterwards of his recent fights and stuff? Do y'all ever talk about it, like, you know, it is what it is type thing, like how the career is coming with him?
Yeah. So I really haven't spoken with, especially like since I was going through all this stuff with the law, you know what I'm saying? I really just been kind of staying off the scene. My plan really to just kind of like pop back out on everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and y'all to catch
really,
up later.
Yeah, in
type.
fact, like, and really show what's going on. Like, I really mean business right now, you know what I'm saying? But as far as even in the past though, like, not really, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I congratulate him whether he win or he lose, and so we go on, we move forward.
Facts, he getting that check regardless, it is what it is type movements.
Yeah, and then see, but particularly though when you're talking about Adrian Bronner, like you gotta understand when you dealing with certain people, like they be in their own, you know what I'm saying? Like it's sometimes that I wouldn't even like waste my breath, especially if I done did it already or I done seen, you know, because you do got people like, some people may value someone else's opinion better than another person. You know what I'm saying? I just be like, hey man, you know what I'm saying?
One thing I definitely will put the cherry on top with this is like, me personally, I'm not really judging things the same way everybody else does because, you know, we do boxing here to there, and it's like, man, well, you do it full time for sure, but, you know, I do it here to there.
Right.
So I always look at it like, man, boxing is boxing, bro. If you're not in it, then there's really no judgment zone for you.
Right.
But another thing is, I would say, man, when I see AB on TV, bro, he got a wonderful personality when it comes to saying, like, bro, none of that shit affects me. I think the first time I seen a little clip on Instagram with AB, and he was admitting that somebody was getting the best of him. He was like, man, that shit was, he was getting the best of me on that. I can't even lie. And I'm just like, oh shit. I would have never thought I heard him say something like that. That shit had me laughing. But I know when I came in here one day, I was watching, this is my first time seeing Miss Shields in person, right? And I'm watching her work and stuff like that. And I seen that y'all had like a little convo going already, like a rapport. I'm like, oh, okay, Trey Noah already on some shit. Like, they literally chopping it up. Like, and she asked you, she was like, oh, you coming back? You coming back? And you was like, yeah, I'm in the works with it for real.
Yeah.
What's y'all relationship like outside of boxing and within the boxing?
So our relationship is definitely more so just boxing, you know what I'm saying? But like, I met Clarissa in 2012. You know what I'm saying? That was when she was going to get her first gold. Then she ended up getting a gold. And, like I say, I was in camp with Adrian Bronner. I forgot what fight this was for, but we was doing it in Colorado. We used to go over to the Olympic Center often, though. You know what I'm saying? Get sparring in, things like that. He had a strength and condition coach that was over there. And Clarissa, man, she was running through all the females, like on the team. Like really, no girls weren't giving her no good work. And then I remember too, that was a year Errol Spence was on the team too. So they used to have in there with Errol Spence, but like Errol Spence wasn't really kind of sparing her too much either. You know, he was strong, you know what I'm saying, because he was heavy in weight. I would say around that time I was probably at like 120 something, you know what I'm saying? So like just me being a little smaller, it just evened out like perfectly between the both of us. Like I was able to box, move around the ring, and you know what I'm saying, she was still able to get her work in too as well. So that's really originally how we met right there.
So you did end up sparring her before?
Yeah.
How was the work? How did y'all, like, from her perspective, but your words, do you feel like she was doing her thing in there type shit?
Yeah, like with me?
Yeah.
Definitely, especially back then, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it was crazy too because I used to hear about her. I know people used to say she's strong and stuff like that. I ain't really sparred too many females, you know what I'm saying? Like, but she definitely was strong, you know what I'm saying? Especially by me being so little back then, you know what I'm saying? I just remember specifically one time I was boxing, and I'm like, man, you know, I'm like, this a girl, you know what I'm saying? I end up just sitting there, I put my hands up, I let her get a little combination off, man. She had to throw like a 6-punch combination. I say, oh, hell no, this is what we not finna do. Sit here and let her just sling these motherfucking punches on me like this. So I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like, I gotta just keep her frustrated, just keep boxing, move around the ring for sure.
Man, if y'all ever watch Miss Shields fight, man, especially, man, even in this ring right here, she just had like a spar with somebody, and it's just like, she was killing Shorty, man. Like, we just watched the spar, it was real good. Shout out to the Shorty that came still though, man. You came in, you know, you got some work in. But
man, she was faking. She was faking. I ain't even cap. Because you went there, I actually sparred Clarissa that day as well.
But, so that's her second time going in the ring.
So no, she sparred the girl first, and man, that
and
girl,
got the real work with you afterwards.
Man, that girl was faking. Like she was talking. I don't even know how she even got in here, because apparently like it was
Instagram wars.
It was up, yeah, it was up soon as Clarissa walked in, and man, the girl, she was like, it was so funny too, because I ain't never heard this. She was like, man, I can't punch because the glove won't let me punch. So they like, all right, well, they trying to get her another glove, and I'm looking at her in the corner right there, and they trying to put the glove on, and she just like, she moving her hand, not the glove. I'm like, man, what the hell going on? She just moving her hand, not the glove, and man, that shit was funny. Yeah, she ain't on no smoke. She definitely was an internet gangster, you ask me. I can't even cap.
Man, that's funny. You know, I'm gonna keep my face card clean on that one. we gonna let the people talk what they feel, man.
Internet thugging, I ain't gonna hold back on that one.
But huge shout out to Miss Shields, man. Your last fight with Vanessa, man, you went in there and did your big one, dog. I think it was a second round knockout down there, man. It was quick, man. She was like, just like how you said, she go in there, she get the slugging on some shit. So you got to think, Trey in there, he's sparring with that, dog. It's not easy work at all, dog. It's like, man, you gotta do what you gotta do.
All right.
Trey was telling me how he came home early because of a program. He really supposed to be home 2026. It is now 2024, y'all. So with that being said, I was asking about the program, and you said it was like a psychological program, right?
Right.
And he was giving out like some good wordplay on it, on some shit, just telling people like, man, it really helped me think a lot better with as far as situations happening. Right. What would you call it again when you were saying like, if I felt like somebody tried me, it really was what again?
I mean, it could be a number of things. You know what I'm saying? It just really, like I say, really being able to identify your emotion, like not mixing your feelings and your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Like you say, oh, I feel like somebody tried me, right? Like that's an incorrect statement. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody tried you is not a feeling. You know what I'm saying? Really, that's a moment for you to really kind of reflect. Like, hey, I feel embarrassed about. You know what I'm saying? This guy, like I said, I use the example like, hey, I feel embarrassed about this person said something about my pants, you know? And when you able to really identify your emotion, you know what I'm saying? Really have emotional intelligence, really. And the situation, it allows you to go deeper on problem solving and why do you feel the way you feel, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I use the example again, like, hey, I feel embarrassed. Now I know I feel embarrassed, rather than saying, oh, I feel like this person tried me, now I want to fight. It ain't doing nothing behind my emotions. That's going to give me another negative consequence, you know what I'm saying? But really now I can say, hey, I feel embarrassed because this person talking about my pants, right? So they get the opportunity to even look at, why do I feel embarrassed about somebody talking about my pants? Like, am I lacking gratitude? You know what I'm saying? I feel embarrassed about my pants. Why? Because, you know, I don't got Da Vinci pants on or some Amiris or what, like, you know, and you got pants, so it's a moment for you to be thankful regardless of the fact, you know what I'm saying, and not really worry about what other people got going on. Or it could be something different, you know what I'm saying, to where you might do got to communicate. Maybe you feel embarrassed because this person been doing this for a week. He keep making jokes in front of other people, and maybe now this is the time that, okay, you identify that, hey, I don't like that this person keep doing this in front of other people. People are laughing at me. Yeah, I'm not tripping about my pants, but he's putting the spotlight on me. So now, hey, that's a moment that you've identified that, hey, I need to talk to this person about this. Now it's time to communicate, hey, bro. You know what I'm saying? So can you stop doing that type shit, you know?
Facts, big facts. For all of that, for normal situations, I wanted to spin it off onto like a boxer's mindset. Right. So like, I don't know how to word this all the way, but hopefully y'all catch the gist. So it's like, I be thinking like a lot of times, if you go out in public as a boxer and people know that you're a boxer, right, do you feel like that they'll refrain from doing certain things around you just so it doesn't become a problem? Or do you feel like even as yourself, when you go out in public, like, man, I know I can handle whatever's coming to me out here on some shit? Do you have like a different mindset because of that stage that you're in with life? Or
I would say the mindset that I have going out in public, being around people, like, especially when it come down to altercation, like, I'm not finna fight nobody on the street. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's goofy to me, you know what I'm saying? Like, what am I beefing with somebody for? Or even like especially around the time, I remember having a conversation similar to someone. I had got into it, well, I didn't get into it. Somebody had said some crazy stuff to me at the gas station one day. And this around the time I was signing to Floyd. And then I just remember, like, the guy I was with, he like, man, you gonna let a nigga say something to you? All right, man, he don't know me from a can of paint, for starters. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just talking. And then at the end of the day, like, I'll be a goofy to fight this dude, knowing I probably will beat him up, you know what I'm saying, break my hand. Now, Florida, somebody called me like, hey man, you got to fight champ on November 3rd, you know what I'm saying, so I'm be like, man, I can't even fight, man, I broke my hand. Damn, you broke your hand? Like, how you break your hand? Man, nigga called me a bitch at the gas station, so, you know what I'm saying, my hand broke right now, I can't fight. Like, that's goofy.
Facts. That's definitely probably the best outlook of the question that, like, I did not expect that from you, honestly. I honestly expected you to say, like, well, I mean, if it come down to it, yeah, I'm going to self-defend myself. Like, a lot of people try to twist it sometimes and be like, man, I'm going to do what I got to do. Like, but the outlook you just gave is more or less like, man, be grown. Understand that you're going to have people out here that's knuckleheads and they just testing the waters or whatever they want to test. That's on them.
Right.
Allow them to do that with somebody else because they're going to run into somebody else eventually doing it too. So,
and like you say, people say they gotta self-defend themselves. Like, that's if harm is really brought your way. Like,
nah, facts.
Yeah, facts. Like, I'm not definitely finna allow a nigga to slap me and I just walk off. Like, for real.
Hell nah.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like, that's a
not with these powers.
not with these powers. You talking about for real? So it's just really kind of knowing when and how to react and so. But really, I don't see that. Like, how is somebody finna put their hands on me? Like, we don't got nothing going on. Like,
man, it's been so many times that I've even seen it just on camera, like Shakur Stevenson doing it to where he had a whole brawl outside of whatever environment he was in. They was on the sidewalk and I'm just like, man, he dragging, bro. I'm like, do bro even fight or like, what is this like? So, and then on top of that, I'm looking at boxer on boxer beef. I remember when Caleb Plant slapped Charlo and I was just like, man, they gotta get a fight in behind this, bro. It's gonna be so anticipated now.
Right, exactly.
And I just be like, damn, they could have handled that so much better. But man, and Caleb Plant is literally probably my top 3 favorite fighters. He really does not back down from no smoke, and that's one of my biggest things about him that I love. I'm not dissing nobody for what they did on the outside view of boxing, but I just wanted to see what everybody thought. I also had a question that I wanted to ask you about the when you did your time and you said you were shadow boxing and everything. Like, you were still doing your work while you were in there type shit, like every day.
Working out.
Shadow boxing, working out, everything.
Yeah, definitely. I had times too where I was chilling. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't just going months and months without, like, fuck no, like, because it's in me, you know.
Type shit. Like, it's your career at the end of the day. So what I want to know is, when you came out, how did you feel about your skill level after doing, what you did, 5 years, 4 years?
Basically 5.
Okay, cool.
A little under 5, but yeah.
How did you feel about the skill level when you got out? Did you think that you were still right where you were at? Did you think that it increased? Did you think that you declined? How did it affect you as a boxer?
I definitely don't feel too far from where I was at. I wouldn't say I'm right where I left off at, because, you know, I hadn't taken a break in years.
Facts.
You know, I have been boxing continuously since 11 years old. You know what I'm saying? But I would say, you know, just my thoughts though, I do believe that I'm still sharp. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, I'm still getting my weight down. You know what I'm saying? And all that stuff is coming with due time. Like, I'm not really tripping about certain areas that I'm lacking in, because I know that I can fix it. You see what I'm saying?
Facts. Do you feel like you struggle getting weight down after being a full-time vegetarian? Or do you feel like it's kind of like, man, it ain't got nothing to do with it, honestly? It's like, shit, weight loss is a whole nother program to you.
Yeah, weight loss is weight loss. I think I get it off pretty easy. You know,
for sure.
It ain't really nothing to me. I think my body on the schedule to drop that weight. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing it all my life, so it's really nothing.
The reason I asked you about the skill development after leaving the time that you went down the road and stuff, I remember when Mike Tyson went down the road and he came right back into fighting and stuff like that. A lot of people said that it depreciated, like they felt like the skill level just wasn't there as much no more. To me personally, I can't comment on it. I didn't watch Mike Tyson in his prime, like just growing up or anything like that. I'm 27, so from what I saw, Mike Tyson was a fucking beast all the way from fight 1 all the way to fight 20 and everything. You feel me? Like he literally knocked everybody out, y'all. Right. So it's just seeing Mike Tyson take a loss, I think people just kind of was like, damn, Mike Tyson taking losses like bad too, like to them.
It could have been something he was going through mentally.
That too.
You know what I'm saying? It's a lot. We don't know.
Yep.
We don't know. We
ain't there.
In this girl. We weren't in it. All we could do is just come up with something.
Facts.
You know
well, yeah, man. I just wanted to see his input on his whole life story and everything, bro. Y'all see that he broke it down to us really well, gave us a lot of input, even things off the wall that I wasn't even expecting to hear about. It was good. You got anything you want to tell the camera, Trey, just for the end of the interview sake?
Man, just stay tuned. You know what I'm saying? Y'all definitely, for the people who don't know about me, best believe y'all gonna hear a lot of me. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be seeing a lot of me. Get used to it. Remember this face. And this good right here too, cause I got the cut. Looking good and groomed. Y'all remember this good handsome face, man. Don't play with me.
Hey man. We in the $1 Million Cuts episode, man. We out of here. Remember, his fight is on the 23rd. Y'all tune in, man. We up there. Follow me Slim underscore millions, 2 M's in the Slim. What's your Instagram, Trey?
Superman Pettis.
Superman Pettis. Get at him. We out, man.